The morning of the 14th started the way every morning at the east entrance started. A van from the canteen suppliers arrived at 7:42, 18 minutes early, driven by a man named Yusuf who always arrived 18 minutes early and always acted surprised when Tariq pointed this out. They went through the same ritual they had performed perhaps 300 times. Tariq checked the delivery manifest against the approved vendor list. Yusuf drummed his fingers on the steering wheel and hummed something tuneless. Tariq found the entry, signed the log, raised the barrier. Yusuf drove through without a word of thanks because gratitude had never been part of the arrangement, and both men understood this implicitly. 7:44, the barrier came back down. At 8:50, the first of the ministry's junior staff began arriving, the ones who came early because they were either ambitious or anxious, and at this level of government the two things looked identical from the outside. Tariq checked ID badges with the focused indifference of a man who has checked ID badges so many times that the action has become essentially biological. Heartbeat, breath, badge check, heartbeat. At 8:51, a man in a gray suit arrived on foot. This was the first slightly unusual thing, in a morning that had contained no unusual things, and in a career that had contained very few. Most visitors arrived by car, or by the ministry shuttle that ran from the main transport hub. Walking to the east entrance required navigating a stretch of uneven pavement behind the secondary car park that the ministry had been meaning to repair since approximately the second Musharraf administration. Tariq noted the gray suit. He noted the shoes, good ones, the kind that cost more than they looked like they cost. He noted that the man carried no bag, no folder, no laptop sleeve. Nothing in his hands except a small spiral notebook, the kind sold at corner shops for 20 rupees. "Morning," the man said. "Good morning," Tariq said. "ID and entry purpose, please." The man smiled. It was the smile of someone who found something mildly interesting, not the irritated smile of a person who thought the ID request was beneath them. Something else. More like a scientist watching an experiment produce the expected result. "I'm here for a meeting," the man said. "Name of the department and who is your meeting with?" "Internal review," the man said. "I'll need to confirm the details inside." Tariq looked at him for a moment, looked at the logbook, looked back. "Sir, I can't process entry without a confirmed host department and a name or reference number. If your meeting is with internal review, someone in that department would have submitted a visitor authorization. I can call upstairs to confirm." "That won't be necessary," the man said. "I'm afraid it is, sir." The man wrote something in his notebook, small, precise handwriting. He looked up and smiled again, that same particular smile. "I'll come back," he said. He left. Tariq watched him walk back across the uneven pavement, stepping carefully between the broken sections with the practiced ease of someone who had navigated this exact stretch before. He wrote gray suit, no ID, no auth, refused entry, 8:51 in his logbook, drew a line under it, went back to watching the entrance. The oscillating fan creaked through its arc. At no point did Tariq wonder if this was strange. Strange was not a category he applied to individual incidents. Strange was a pattern. One data point was just a data point. He would accumulate more before the morning was out. At 10:17, a woman arrived. She was perhaps 55, dressed in a way that communicated authority through sheer fabric quality alone. The kind of shalwar camis that announced, without needing to say anything, that the person wearing it had not purchased it at a shopping center. She carried a large leather handbag and walked with the specific forward-leaning momentum of someone who had spent decades walking through doors that opened for them before they arrived. She did not slow down as she approached the booth. "I'm Deputy Director Nasreen Hafiz," she said, already half past the barrier. "Internal affairs, I'm running late." "Ma'am," Tariq stepped to the edge of the booth, "I'll need to see your ministry ID." She stopped, turned. The forward momentum recalibrated into something cooler. "I just told you who I am." "Yes, ma'am, I'll still need the ID. I've been coming to this building for 9 years." "I understand, ma'am. Protocol requires." "I know what protocol requires," she said, and the sentence had an edge to it that could have opened letters. "I wrote several of those protocols." Tariq waited. He was extremely good at waiting. He had the stillness of a man who had made peace with the fact that most of what his job required was simply not moving, while other people decided whether to comply or escalate. She opened her bag, produced the ID, held it out with the flat expression of a person doing something they considered performatively unnecessary. Tariq checked it against the registry. The name matched. The photo matched. The ID version of Deputy Director Hafiz had slightly shorter hair and looked like she had recently survived a meeting she had not expected to survive, but it was her. "Thank you, ma'am." He logged the entry, raised the barrier. She walked through without looking at him. He wrote her name and the time in the logbook, wrote ID verified, entry authorized. Then below that in smaller letters, did not have ID visible on approach. He underlined that last part, not for any particular reason, force of habit. He underlined things that were slightly off. At 11:03, a delivery man arrived. Large flat box, no return address label, no vendor markings, no accompanying documentation. "Delivery for director's office," the man said. "Vendor name and delivery authorization." "It's a gift," the man said, "personal." "From whom?" "He'll know." Tariq looked at the box. The box revealed nothing. Boxes rarely did. "Sir, I can't process entry of an unmanifested package without either a vendor authorization or direct confirmation from the recipient. I can call the director's office." "Don't bother him," the man said. "Just let me through." "I can't do that. It's fragile." "I understand. I'll call upstairs and have someone come down to receive it here at the entrance. That way the package doesn't need to come through unprocessed." The man looked at him. Tariq looked at the box. "Fine," the man said. He set the box down against the booth wall with slightly more force than something fragile warranted. He took out a phone, made a call, said 2 words, put the phone away. Tariq called the director's office. A junior secretary came down 11 minutes later, signed for the package, carried it in. The delivery man left without the box and without another word. Tariq logged it. Unmanifested delivery, no vendor auth. Package received at entrance by department rep, not processed through visitor entry. He stared at what he'd written for a moment, then added, delivery man did not appear to be inconvenienced by wait, did not check phone again after initial call. The oscillating fan creaked. At 12:30, the gap between the morning rush and the post-lunch trickle, when the entrance was its quietest, a man appeared on the far side of the barrier and simply stood there. He wasn't approaching. He wasn't waiting for a ride. He was standing in a particular way, weight evenly distributed, hands loose at his sides, that made him look less like someone who had arrived and more like someone who had been placed. He had a coffee cup from the cart down the road. He was looking at the entrance, not at Tariq specifically, at the entrance, the booth, the barrier mechanism. Tariq watched him for 4 minutes. The man watched the entrance. At the 4-minute mark, Tariq stepped out of the booth. "Can I help you, sir?" The man looked at him, took a sip of coffee. "Just finishing my coffee," he said. "The cart is 30 meters that way," Tariq said. "There's benching there as well." "Fresh air," the man said. "Sir, this is a restricted entrance. Non-ministry personnel are asked not to loiter in this area." The man nodded slowly, the way people nod when they're filing information rather than agreeing with it. He took one more sip, turned and walked back toward the cart. Tariq returned to the booth, wrote, Unknown male, no approach made, observed entrance for approx 4 men, departed on request. He looked at the 3 entries below each other in the log. The gray suit, the delivery, the watcher. He didn't connect them into a pattern. It wasn't his job to connect patterns. His job was to log, to check, to hold the line and let someone further up the chain worry about what the lines meant. He was very good at not exceeding his job description. This, as it turned out, was precisely the point. At 2:15, Senior Inspector Wackar came down. Wackar was Tariq's direct superior, a man who had spent 20 years learning that the path of least institutional resistance was a smoother road than the path of strict protocol, and who had found this philosophy so comfortable that he had essentially built his career inside it like a hermit crab in a borrowed shell. He was not a bad man. He was a thoroughly frictionless one. He leaned against the booth doorframe in the way he always did when he was about to say something he was framing as casual. "Busy morning," he said. "Average," Tariq said. "Heard you turned away a deputy director." I checked her ID before authorizing entry. Standard protocol. Wackar made a sound that was not quite agreement and not quite disagreement. A bureaucratic Switzerland of a sound. Halfies can be, he searched for the word, particular. Her ID was in order. Right, good. I'm just saying people at that level, sometimes a little flexibility. The protocol doesn't have a seniority clause, Tariq said, not unkindly, as a statement of fact, the way a man might note that the sky is a particular color this afternoon. Wackar looked at him for a moment with the expression of someone who has been presented with a technically correct answer to the wrong question. The delivery also, Wackar said. Director Faisal's office called, said it was a personal gift, there was no need to. The package entered the building through a department representative, Tariq said. It didn't come through visitor entry unprocessed. That was the option I offered. You made a director's personal guest wait 11 minutes in the parking area. The package waited. The delivery person chose to wait with it. Wackar rubbed the back of his neck. This was a tell Tariq had clocked approximately 5 years ago. It meant Wackar was about to say the real thing he had come to say. Look, Wackar said, there are some people visiting today, reviewing some operational procedures. They might be in and out of your area, just another neck rub. Just be yourself, but maybe 30% less yourself. Tariq looked at him. I don't know how to do that, Tariq said. Which was true. He was not being difficult. He genuinely did not have a dial for that. Wackar nodded slowly. The way you nod when someone has confirmed a suspicion you were hopping was wrong. Right, he said. Right, carry on. He left. Tariq turned back to the entrance. The afternoon light was hitting the uneven pavement at an angle that made the broken sections look almost deliberate, like a mosaic in a language nobody had bothered to learn. At 3:40, Rafik came by. Rafik manned the west entrance. He was 26 and had the amiable confidence of someone who had so far moved through life without being seriously contradicted. Yar, Rafik said, dropping his voice to the register people use when they're about to tell you something for your own benefit. These review people, I let 2 of them in without the full check. Wackar Bai said there from federal level, just keep it smooth. Federal level still needs entry authorization, Tariq said. Obviously, technically, yes. There's no non-technical version of the authorization requirement. Rafik stared at him. Bai, you know what I mean. I know what you mean, Tariq said. I just don't operate that way. Rafik looked at him with the specific pity reserved for someone about to step on a rake. Your funeral, Rafik said, not unkindly. He left. Tariq watched the entrance. This was the thing about pressure. It arrived in layers. First the event, then the superior, Then the pier, each one applying force from a slightly different angle. Hopping one of them would find the seam, the give, the place where the man bent. What none of them fully accounted for was the possibility that there was no seam, not because Tariq was rigid, but because he had built himself over 11 years into something that was the same all the way through. You can't find the soft center of a thing that has no soft center. He logged 340. Senior Inspector Wacker visited post, suggested flexibility with senior visitors. Colleague Rafik advised same. No change to procedure. He looked at this entry, added, noted for record. He underlined it twice this time. Phase 4, the unraveling. At 4:20, the gray suit came back. He came from the interior of the building this time, which meant he had gotten in through another entrance, or someone had brought him in, or there were things happening in this building today that the east entrance logbook was only one small window onto. He came through the internal door that connected the booth to the ministry foyer and stood at Tariq's elbow. "Mind if I sit?" he said, nodding at the second chair in the booth, the chair that existed for no documented reason and had been used approximately 4 times in 11 years. Twice by Tariq during a 12-hour shift, and twice by a stray cat that had developed opinions about air-conditioned spaces. "It's not a public seating area," Tariq said. "I'm not public," the man said. He showed a badge. It was a different kind of badge than a ministry badge, smaller, laminated, with a federal insignia that Tariq had seen once before, on a document that had arrived at the east entrance via registered mail and required 2 signatures from 2 different departments. Tariq looked at the badge, looked at the man, looked at the logbook entry from 8:51 this morning. Gray suit, no ID, no auth, refused entry. He moved slightly to one side. The man sat. For a while neither of them said anything. The fan creaked. A car came through. Tariq checked the badge, logged the entry, raised the barrier. "You kept a log," the man said. He wasn't looking at the logbook. He was looking at the entrance. "I always keep a log," Tariq said. "The delivery man," the man said. "You noted that he didn't recheck his phone after making the call." Tariq said nothing. He hadn't known anyone had read that entry. "That was a good catch," the man said. "He was one of ours. He was testing response to unmanifested packages. You were supposed to either wave it through or reject it flatly. You did neither. You created a third option, received it at the entry point through a verified departmental representative. That option isn't in the protocol manual." "No," Tariq said, "but it doesn't violate any protocol either." "No," the man agreed, "it doesn't." Another car, another badge check. The barrier went up, came down. "Deputy Director Hafiz," the man said. "Her ID was valid. She's a real deputy director. She wasn't one of ours. She genuinely didn't want to show her badge." The man glanced at Tariq. "She complained about you." "She's welcome to," Tariq said. "She said you were inflexible." "She had a valid ID. She showed it. She was let through. If that's inflexible, I'm comfortable with the label." The man wrote something in his spiral notebook. "The watcher," the man said. "The man by the entrance at 12:30. You clocked him at 4 minutes. He was there for 4 minutes. Most guards take 6 to 8 minutes to decide to approach an ambiguous loiterer. You took 4. Then you gave him a face-saving exit, told him there was seating at the cart. Didn't confront, didn't escalate, didn't ignore." The man tapped his pen against the notebook. "He said you were polite." Tariq processed this. "He was also one of yours," Tariq said. "Yes." "And the man at 8:51. "Me," the man said simply. Tariq nodded, slowly, not with surprise, with the specific nod of a man reassembling his morning into its correct shape, not because the new shape was shocking, but because it was now cleaner than the old one. All the odd pieces fitted. The gray suit walking away without anger. The woman who had come down to receive the package herself rather than sending a peon. Wackar's visit. Rafik's visit. How many people were on the evaluation team? Tariq asked. 7, the man said. You interacted with 4 of them without knowing. You passed all 4 without knowing. He paused. That's the point, actually, the knowing. The fan creaked through its arc. Tariq looked at the logbook. 11 years of logbook entries, every car, every badge, every visitor, every underlined anomaly. All of it done in a booth slightly larger than a wardrobe, in front of a ministry building so beige it seemed embarrassed to exist for 11 years, without ceremony and without an audience. He didn't say anything for a while. You also turned me away this morning, the man said, correctly. You didn't have authorization. I had a federal badge. You showed me a federal badge at 4:20, Tariq said. At 8:51 you showed me nothing. The man's pen stopped moving. He looked at Tariq. This time the smile was different. It was the smile of a man who has administered a test for long enough to know when someone has answered a question that wasn't on the paper. He wrote something in the notebook, underlined it. Tariq noticed him underlining it. Said nothing. The formal debrief happened in a room on the 4th floor that Tariq had never been in. It was a different world up here, carpeted, air-conditioned to a temperature that assumed you were wearing a jacket, furnished with the specific seriousness of rooms where decisions were made and documented and filed. There were 4 people at the table. The man in the gray suit, whose name turned out to be Raza, sat at one end. A woman with a laptop and the focused expression of someone transcribing everything sat at the other. 2 others in the middle, both with folders, both with the institutional blankness that Tariq associated with people who evaluated things for a living and had evaluated enough things to stop finding them surprising. Raza opened a folder. Evaluation date, 14th, he said. East entrance, Ministry of Internal Coordination. Primary subject, Guard Tariq, 11 years continuous service, no formal complaints on record, wait. He glanced up. 1 complaint filed today, Deputy Director Hafiz. The woman with the laptop typed without looking up. Noted, she said. Evaluation criteria, Raza continued. 7 assessment points. Unauthorized entry attempt passed. Unmanifested package passed with novel procedural adaptation noted. Loitering scenario passed behavioral grade, measured and non-confrontational. Peer pressure scenario, Wakar and secondary guard Rafik both made contact suggesting protocol flexibility. He looked at Tariq. Your response? I told Inspector Wakar that the protocol doesn't have a seniority clause, Tariq said. I told Rafik that there's no non-technical version of the authorization requirement. Raza looked at the folder again. Logged at 3:40, he said. He logged the pressure visits, he said to the room, though it was more observation than announcement. Most subjects don't log the internal conversations. One of the middle folder people made a note. Final interaction, re-entry attempt by primary evaluator, Raza said. Subject correctly distinguished between the 8:51 visit, no authorization presented, and the 4:20 visit, valid federal badge presented. Held the distinction clearly. Didn't retroactively validate the morning attempt based on afternoon credential. He closed the folder. Grade, he said to the room, not as a question. Clean pass, the woman with the laptop said without looking up. All 7 points. Raza looked at Tariq. There's a program, he said. It runs across 17 ministries. We're looking for people to move into supervisory protocol roles, training other guards, reviewing entry procedures, helping design evaluation frameworks. He paused. The job is essentially what you've been doing for 11 years, but with a larger booth. Tariq looked at him. The umbrella rule, Tariq said. Raza blinked, sorry. But in 2019, someone updated the entry protocols to require visitors to surrender umbrellas. I've enforced that rule for 6 years. Nobody has ever explained why. Raza looked at the woman with the laptop. She looked back at him. One of the middle folder people opened their folder, looked through it, found nothing, closed it again. "I'll find out," Raza said. "It should be in the framework," Tarek said. "If you're asking me to help design evaluation frameworks, people follow rules more reliably when they understand the reason. Even a bad reason is better than no reason. You can argue with a bad reason. You can't argue with a blank line." Raza wrote something in the spiral notebook, underlined it, looked up. "Yes," he said, "that's exactly why we're asking." The East Entrance logbook for the 14th filled 3 more pages than a typical day. Every contact, every entry, every anomaly underlined. The gray suit, the deputy director, the box, the watcher, Wakar, Rafik, all of it in Tarek's specific handwriting, small, even no flourishes, recorded as though someone would one day want to know exactly what had happened and in what order. As it turned out, several people did. They read it cover to cover that evening, in a carpeted 4th-floor room, and the woman with the laptop transcribed the parts that mattered, which turned out to be most of it, into a federal evaluation report that would be referenced in protocol training programs for the next 4 years. Tarek went home at 6:00, as he always did. He took the bus, as he always did. He stopped at the corner shop, as he always did, and bought a packet of biscuits and a newspaper he would read over dinner and forget by morning. The shopkeeper, as always, gave him 11 rupees change on a 20 because he had never once in 11 years gotten that transaction right. And Tarek, as always, accepted 9 rupees change and said nothing because the man was 73 years old, and this was apparently just how this was going to go. He did not think about the evaluation. He thought about the umbrella rule. There had to be a reason. There was always a reason. You just had to find the right person to ask, and ask them precisely enough that they couldn't answer with a shrug. He was working on the question. The following week, Senior Inspector Wakar was moved to an administrative role in documentation processing. Not demoted exactly, reassigned. The kind of reassignment that arrives in a memo with pleasant language and no explanation, which in institutional grammar is the loudest possible sentence. Rafik was enrolled in a mandatory protocol refresher course. He completed it in 2 days. He came out of it with the startled expression of a man who had been told, in careful and documented detail, exactly what his job description said, and discovered it was considerably more specific than he had previously supposed. Deputy Director Hafiz's complaint was filed, processed, and resolved in Tarek's favor in 11 days, which was fast for this ministry, and which caused a small amount of muttering in the corridors of the 4th floor. The barrier at the East Entrance continued to go up and come down, as it always had, checked against the same logbook, in the same booth, operated by the same man who had never once in 11 years looked up to see if anyone was watching before deciding what to do. The oscillating fan creaked through its arc. Some mornings Tarek brought chai in a steel thermos, and on those mornings the booth smelled like cardamom, and the logbook entries were written with slightly more patience than on days when he didn't. This was not policy. It was just how it was. On the 22nd of the following month, a memo arrived at the East Entrance logbook station. Single page, ministry letterhead. It had been signed by 3 different departments, which meant it had been argued over, which meant it had mattered to someone. It was a formal update to the entry protocols. Item 7, subsection 4, umbrella policy. Visitors are required to surrender umbrellas at entry due to an unresolved 2018 incident in which a visitor used an extended umbrella tip to obstruct a camera sensor at the secondary checkpoint. The obstruction caused a 14-minute security gap. The restriction remains in effect pending sensor upgrade. At the bottom, in a different font, an addendum recently added. All protocol entries should include rationale wherever possible. Unexplained rules reduce compliance and increase selective enforcement. See attached guidance. Tariq read this twice, set it down, picked up his pen, opened the logbook, wrote the date. Then below the umbrella policy summary, in his small, even handwriting, he wrote a single line. 14-minute gap. Someone was paying attention even then. They just didn't write it down. He underlined it. Then he went back to the entrance and held the line, the same way he always had, for everyone who came and for everyone who was watching and for everyone who wasn't, which in the end was exactly the same thing.